Speaking of the Blackhawks, this guy scored over 500 goals in his great career. Former Blackhawk great Jeremy Roenick, now NHL and NBC analyst. JR, good to have you back. Can you sum up, if somebody didn't see the final couple of minutes, how would you sum that up to them?
Like me? Like me. I'll tell you the story. I was on my way down from the booth into the locker room area to do post-game, figuring that the game was over. Bruins were up 2-1 with 1 minute and 40 seconds left. I'm in the elevator, and the building starts shaking. And I'm like, no way somebody just scored. Did the Bruins just score? What happened? I get out. They scored 2 goals in 17 seconds, and I'm on the elevator. I don't even see it. Absolutely. I mean, I've never been so angry in my lifetime watching a Stanley Cup final. But absolutely spectacular ending. A very rare thing to happen for Boston to give up 2 goals like that. And you know what you just said. What's bigger? What's more shocking? That win by the Hawks or the Heat in the last 5 seconds? It's absolutely spectacular sports to watch.
But how did it sound, JR? You didn't get to see the final 2 minutes, but just the noise level. Were you able to tell if the Bruins or Blackhawks had done something?
It was very it was extremely loud, and I think because there were so many Hawks fans there, but also the shock and awe of the Bruins fans of the goal going in. It pierced the elevator shaft that I was in, and I was in a very secure, very heavy elevator, and I'm like, so what just happened? What just happened? And I ran out, and sure enough, it was 3-2, not 2-2. Shocking.
Well,
Shocking.
You're not alone, because I was waiting to interview the Red Sox in 1986, Game 6, and I did not see Bill Buckner's error. I only heard the roars at Shea Stadium. So I didn't get to see the great finish live. I only heard the great finish, and it was one of the most disconcerting moments I've ever had in my career because I didn't know what happened. Next thing I know, the Red Sox are coming up the runway, going into the locker room with their heads down, and I go, the Red Sox lost this?
I know. Yeah, but try being a guy who played for that team, who lived and breathed and died that Indian crest. I'm a huge Bruins fan, but I'm also the hugest Blackhawks fan. So you can imagine what it was like for me, loving to see that emotion and that elation, and I'm stuck in an elevator shaft. What's so disappointing?
Tell me what the Bruins did wrong, though.
I think against the Chicago Blackhawks, you cannot let your guard down for a second. Jonathan Toews on the tying goal kind of pickpocketed the defenseman, and when you're up a goal with 1.5 minutes, you have to be aware of everything that's around you, and you have to be strong in your stick, and you have to get that puck out. And just one little second of not being aware of where everybody is, especially a player like Jonathan Toews. He picks your pocket, the puck gets turned over, and it's a beautiful pass in the back of the net. And then the winning goal was it was a great tip. It was a bad bounce for the Bruins that hit the post and bounced right back to Boland, who put it in. You can't fault anybody for that. It was just a fortunate bounce, and it was the Hawks' cup to win.
Blackhawks are a young team. We saw them win a couple of years ago, but they're still a young team. Is this a nucleus to have sort of one of those great runs, a dynasty-like? Or are we able to have dynasties in the NHL?
I think one's growing. You saw 2010 they won the cup, but they had to dismantle because of the salary cap and because they had to sign all these guys. This is a team now that could be securely into place. They're very comfortable in the salary cap. Their top players are 24, 25, 26, with the exception of Marian Hossa. I can see this team having a chance to win for the next 3, 4, 5 years, to tell you the truth. And that's a credit to what the Blackhawks have built. And they had the season of a magical season, and they capped it off. It's a very difficult thing to do what they did this year, but they deserve all the credit and accolades that they're getting.
Former NHL great Jeremy Roenick joining us, Dan Patrick Show. I can't imagine fighting like that, sometimes literally fighting, and then you have the handshake. It's still one of the most incredible things that we have in all of sports, that you have the handshake, and it's a heartfelt, even if you hate the guy, there's still that respect. How painful is that to be able to walk through and shake somebody's hand after you just lost?
I think it's the loss is more painful. I think the admiration that these guys share for each other, for what they do, for what they go through, for the battle that it takes to win a Stanley Cup championship, for the pain that they all have to endure, the respect amongst the players when they shake each other's hand is immense. And, I do think even though it is so bad losing, when you shake the hands of the guy that you battled against, there is a sense of appreciation. It does. To me, it didn't hurt as much when I shook Mike Modano's hand when they beat us in as much as I tried to battle against him. All these guys. I really feel that there's the respect of what goes on on that arena is really heartfelt when they shake hands at the end, and it might ease it a little bit, but it's the pain afterwards of knowing what you lost that becomes really the hard part of losing a championship.
Strangest place you've seen the Stanley Cup?
Well, I never won the Stanley Cup, but I heard it's been in a lot of weird places. I've heard it was in a jail cell in Edmonton. It was in the bottom of a pool. I've heard of a lot of really crazy places.
Did somebody get arrested and they had the Stanley Cup in jail?
That's what I heard, yep. Steve Smith of the Edmonton Oilers a long time ago told me that the cops put him in jail with the Stanley Cup, but they felt that the cops wanted their own pictures with the cup, so the best way to get it there was to arrest them all.
And I'd heard the cup at the bottom of the swimming pool was when the Penguins won it with Mario Lemieux. Yeah,
I'm sure that's happened plenty of times. How about when it got dented? Just a couple of years, just 2 years ago, I believe, it got dented. Somebody dropped it off a table. I'm like, if that thing could talk, oh my gosh, how many books could that thing write?
Hey, good to visit with you, JR, as always, and keep your head up and don't get on the elevator next time. Or get on it earlier.
Right now.
Yeah.
Just got on one right now. You're the best. You're the best. Love you. Thanks, Dan.
All right, buddy. Jeremy Roenick,